Jason? Oh, for Jane. Yeah, they're working. Hi, Adam. Just make sure your green lights are on.
It is now.
I heard it. It's on. It's all good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What a night.
Oh. You got me all nervous.
You thought this would be an issue?
I was like, I mean, it's, yeah.
I'm going to move to before closure of the floor after the last time. Because they're all going to clear out. I got 7. You guys ready? You ready? Good evening and welcome to the October 18th meeting of the Glenville Town Board. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. For tonight's invocation, I just ask that you offer your own intentions in a moment of silence and in recognition of the conflict in Israel. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Martin,
Here.
Councilman Ramichardt.
Here.
Councilman Kirkland.
Here.
Please note for the record, Councilman Jerome is absent. Supervisor Ketzler.
Here, we do have a busy agenda. The agendas are up front. We have a variety of add-ons to the agenda. We'll go through those very quickly. We have add-on resolution 1, which is a resolution accepting the bid for $83,206 regarding paving for our water breaks. We have add-on 2, which is a resolution authorizing an issuance of a bond for Water District 2. We have add-on resolution 3, which is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for all persons interested in a proposed local law related to water upgrades. We have add-on number 4, which is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for November 1st regarding the town's existing Water District 11 and supplied water to the area formerly known as Water District 2. We have add-on number 5, resolution authorizing the town of Glenville to declare a seeker for the improvements to the Water District project. We have add-on number 6, which is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for November 1st regarding modifications to Water District 2. We have add-on number 7, which is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to execute an engagement letter with the law firm of Garfunkel Wild. And we have add-on resolution number 8, which is an executive session to discuss labor contract negotiations. We do not anticipate any business after add-on item number 8, so you're all free to stay if you like, but there'll be no more public comments after that. I am going to make one change. I'm going to move item 11, which is a proclamation honoring Jane Peeney, to before privilege of the floor, and then we will move on with the rest of our evening from there. And those are all the changes to the agenda. So as I said, a busy night. We'll get through it fairly quickly. I'll start then with town council reports on my left with Councilman Bob Kirkham.
Yes, so this coming, the 28th, there'll be a prescription buyback right here. The Glenville Police will be doing it in the back. It will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And what you can do is bring your prescriptions that are no longer being used by either a loved one or yourself, and dispose of them in a proper way. So that's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilman Martin.
Yeah, just one item. As you know, I've been tracking over the months this proposal from New York State for natural gas appliances to be banned in all new buildings by, I believe it's by 2029, and they're going to start in 2026 with buildings under 7 stories. I'm pleased to report, very pleased to report, that there's been a lawsuit initiated against the New York State Department of State. They're the named defendant. The 2 principal associations bringing the lawsuit are the National Association of Builders and the National Propane Gas Association, among others, including several building trade labor unions and so on. And the lawsuit is being filed specifically by Sarah Jorgensen. She is the same attorney that represented such associations against a similar proposal in California by the city of Berkeley. And the Ninth Circuit Court, which is no conservative court, ruled in the favor of that lawsuit. So I'm very hopeful about this. And I can't say enough as how much this will be impactful to not just the residents of Glenville, but all the persons across New York State in trying to meet their challenges of heating their home and cooking their food. This is totally unequitable. We hear so much about equity these days. Well, this is completely not that. And then the other thing I would ask you to consider is consider this in context. To what end are we trying to do this? What will this actually achieve? Can anybody tell me how many tons of carbon there are in the Earth's atmosphere? 43,500 billion metric tons of carbon. And we think that something like this is actually going to scratch or make a dent in that for the price it's going to cost our residents and our citizens. I'm very hopeful this lawsuit is successful, and I urge everybody to track this and reach out to your state representatives and your governor to bring some sanity back to this state. And I'm very happy to see this lawsuit that has been filed. And I'll keep following it. Obviously, it'll take several months to unfold, but it's a very positive step. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Remmers.
No reports, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman. We have a couple of public hearings that we have to get through first before we do anything else. So we'll start with item number 5. It is a public hearing for October 18th, which is today, regarding all persons interested in making objections or comments to the assessment roll for Water District 11 and extensions 10 through 51. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter regarding the assessment roll, for Water District 11 and extensions 10 through 51? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that public hearing is now closed. Next public hearing is a public hearing to hear all those interested or to make comments or objections to the assessment roll for Sewer District number 9 and extension number 7. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that is now closed. Next public hearing is a public hearing to hear all those interested or making objections or comments to the assessment roll for sewer district number 1. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter regarding objections to assessment roll for sewer district number 1? Going once, going twice, seeing none. It's now closed. Next public hearing is a public hearing to be heard for any person interested in making objections or comments to the assessment roll for sewer district number 2. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on the matter regarding the assessment roll for sewer district 2? Going once, going twice, seeing none. That matter is now closed. Before we move on, I do want to point out that we have a guest with us here. We have Councilman Jason Moskowitz from Niskuna. I want to thank you for being here tonight. I know you're here for Jane, but we're glad that you're in the town of Glenville anyway, so welcome. With that, I'd like to invite the chief up to the podium, and the chief and I will be making a presentation to Jane Cooney. Chief?
Thank you for letting me speak, Mr. Supervisor, and welcome, Bob, to is this your first meeting, right?
Oh,
You've been here a couple more meetings?
he's a veteran.
Well, it's good to see you up here, Bob.
I'm getting seasoned,
Um,
so thank you. It's good to be seen.
no,
Sorry.
Sorry, I really don't know.
Chief, you're not alone.
For those of you who don't know Jane, which I don't think there's anybody in this room that doesn't know Jane, and I'm really, really happy to see some of the retired members and former members of the police department and friends of Jane and her family that came here tonight. It's really nice to see you, and it really just does show you how much Jane is loved and appreciated, and honestly, how much we're going to miss you. The doors are always open. You're always welcome to come in and see us, say hi, have lunch. Maybe there'd be an ice cream cake or something that you really like down there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely let you know when we got something going on down there. Maybe Gretchen will make some good muffins. We'll definitely hook you up. It's funny to see how many people Jane has seen come and go through her years, her 41 years of service with the town of Glenville. Jane's career started as a dispatcher back down when the police department was on Mohawk Avenue, and was one of the first dispatchers for the Glenville Police Department before we moved up here into 1984, when she was probably the senior dispatcher that came up in 1984, one of the senior dispatchers that came up here. And I got to meet Jane in 1997, and there's some people here that worked with her a lot longer than that. Jane's a staple member of this department. Her education in the field, the amount of work that Jane would produce and get herself into and volunteer for was incredible. She was really, to go back in the years that I've known Jane, she was my number one assistant from 1998 through 2001. And I'm glad there's not a lot of people here that are going to be jealous about what I'm about to say, but she used to log in my tickets when I was the traffic safety officer. And so I would write a lot of tickets, and we had to put those into our record management system. And Jane would take my tickets kind of quietly and stick them off to the side, and then she'd log them in for me, which was great and would help me a lot. But she's also been instrumental, and since I've been the chief of police, in preparing my reports for me. So I know, Jim, you respond to the monthly reports a lot, and thank me for the reports, but really, honestly, to be true about it, it was all Jane. Jane would prepare those. She would go into CAD and SJS and tracks, and she would prepare those reports for me, and I would just make it look nice on the report when I send it off to the town board.
I always read them every month.
She also, not just putting those reports together, but Jane was also instrumental in preparing a lot of the reports and the information that we had to put together during the police reform committee meetings that we had back here several years ago. And a lot of those things that we put together was all because of Jane and all the things that I had her do. So thank you so much, Jane. You were such a great help to us here. Jane, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really going to miss our morning talks. I think that we really tried to save and make a lot of changes in the world with our talks with Annie. Oh, we talked about ground. Oh boy, Jane, you're really going to open up a can of worms here. Yeah, but we could solve a lot of problems in our morning meetings. So I want to thank you for that. And one of the things that I got to tell you that Jane would always do, no matter what the conversation was, the conversations would revert back to her family. She would always talk about her family, the love that she has for her family, for her granddaughters, and we would talk about my daughter and how they grew up together and they were around together. And it's great to see your family here. And you are a great grandmother and a great mother. And I really appreciate all the service that you put forth through your time here with the town of Glenville. So Jane, I present you with this plaque tonight. It says, congratulations, Jane Peeney, 1982 to 2023. 41 years of service to the Glenville Police Department. Your dedication, devotion, experience, and knowledge that you brought to the organization will truly be missed. The members of the police department thank you for your commitment to the Glenville community. We wish you the best of health and happiness in your retirement. Congratulations, Jane.
Almost. So Jane, before we have you say a few words, on behalf of the town of Glenville, the Glenville Town Board, I want to recognize all your service to our town and thank you for all you've done for the town over 41 years. We have a proclamation here for you. I'll read it, and then we'll have you say a few words if that's okay, if you're okay. So the proclamation reads, whereas Jane Peeney has served as the longest member of the Glenville Police Department at 41 years. Whereas Jane was hired on October 16, 1982, and served as a dispatcher until June 2014 when dispatch was taken over by Schenectady County. And whereas Jane, instead of moving with dispatch, remained with the police department serving as an administrative assistant. And whereas Jane's duties also included mandatory reporting coordinator, New York State Department of Criminal Justice, crime statistic reporter and auditor, New York State incident-based reporter, police officer training and certification manager, New York State certified general topics instructor, and multiple other record management assignments. Do we miss anything there? That's a lot of stuff. Whereas Jane's experience and knowledge in this field will truly be missed by all. Now therefore be resolved on this occasion of her well-deserved retirement and on behalf of the Glenville Town Board, I, Christopher A. Ketzley, do by the power invested in me as Office of Supervisor, do thank Jane Peeney officially for her years of service to the town of Glenville and hereby proclaim throughout the entire town of Glenville, Friday, October 20th, 2023, is Jane Peeney Day throughout the town of Glenville. Congratulations, Jane.
Thank you, everyone. Just want to say that I'm not used to being in front of people, having all these wonderful things said about me. But I wanted to say that I loved working for the town of Glenville. They always treated me with respect, and all these different things that I did was because of the chiefs of police at that time. They all allowed me to go to all these different schools and all these different trainings, and anything that I asked to go to was always, oh yeah, sure, go for it, go do this. But I always did everything because I wanted us to be number one. I always did all these different trainings, and if I knew something was coming up and I asked to go, they would let me go, and then I would bring it back to our people here at the department. And I always enjoyed that. I love doing that stuff for our department. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. So, something tells me that one or two of you may be interested in leaving before the rest of the business. So we're going to take a pause before privilege of the floor. If anyone wants to leave, now's the time. If anyone wants to stay, you're welcome to stay. Thank you.
We are gonna, they're gonna read the resolution for Victoria as well, so we want to say for that.
Yeah, that's not on here. Hey, Jason. Bye, Jason. No, that Jason, sorry. Bye, Jason. Okay, so back in session, we do have privilege of the floor next. We have two folks signed up for privilege of the floor. We'll start with them in order. If you didn't sign up for privilege of the floor and you still want to speak, raise your hand and we'll have you up to the podium. Just state your name and address for the record. And we'll start with Jim Shearer.
Good evening. This is the newest version of the New York Citizens Audit Report. Right now, there's over 50 towns in 17 counties have signed resolutions calling for a forensic audit of the 2022 election, and that number is growing. This cover page says apathy, incompetence, or malfeasance. They found all three in their audit. Counterfeit registrations, 1,487,399 counterfeit registrations. Records purged with no purge date, 1,545,711. It goes on and on. The New York State Board of Elections issued excuses to explain all this stuff. They said each voter in New York is assigned both a state voter ID and a county ID. Although the state database is designed to have a single state ID follow a voter as they move from county to county, it is possible for multiple reasons that a voter may have multiple records with different state IDs. However, they found this individual called A. Piamenta, an unverifiable person who has 11 simultaneously active registrations at a single address where he is unknown and has never lived. And there's more of those. So they can't explain that, but they try. Was the 2022 election valid? Okay, with a claim of 5,965,684 votes cast, the maximum allowable number of ballots in error for New York State's general election is 48. The audit found 745,294 violations. It's not even close. And with the illegal immigrant crisis, that caught my attention. So now that our governor supports giving driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, it causes a conundrum. I just changed my voter registration, as did my wife, so we're familiar with the form. So the first thing is, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no? If it's no, you can't vote. If you lie and you say yes, then they ask you for a form of ID. One of those IDs is a New York State driver's license. So, boom. Okay, so I called Albany County Board of Elections, and the first guy I talked to was clueless, so he gave me to somebody else. And the guy says, oh, we checked that. You check the citizenship records of everybody that applies for a voter registration. He said, yeah, we do. I don't believe him. I tried to find it. I couldn't. I couldn't find how you verify somebody's citizenship online. You know, they say you have, social security number or a driver's license. So there's a potential for extreme voter fraud with these migrants coming in, that if they get a driver's license and they lie that they're a citizen, they can vote. So we would ask you as a board to take another look at this situation and consider the resolution that's been it's been in your possession for, I don't know, since March, April. Some of the board has changed. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. The next person signed up to speak is Dave Hennel.
Good evening. So I'm here for our annual report on the Glenville Oktoberfest. I guess I have to thank Jane for her 41 years of service because we got an extra big crowd for our report. But as everybody that knows and went and saw in the Daily Gazette, the town of Glenville was front page and center back on September 30th. We had a massive crowd of people that came, did a really nice job with getting the parking more organized and getting more cars in. Again, huge shout out to the town, the public works, the highway department, Glenville Police Department, and the auxiliary police from Schenectady. Again, it takes a whole town to put on this event. We had some great bands. We found out after the event, one of our bands, it was their final performance. So Gregory and the Brauhaus Band are actually retiring, but we may be bringing back one of the bands that we featured in the past next year. So that's exciting. But again, great community support, fantastic sponsors. First National Bank again stepped up as our title, which is great. German American Club, it makes their year. The German American Club actually was looking at actually closing down when we actually started the Oktoberfest. So with our partnership, them making us authentic, we've helped them survive, and that's amazing. Huge shout out to our core committee, Jim, Kate, Vicky, countless hundreds of hours to make this happen. And again, last year we had a really special treat because the Daily Gazette actually named our little initially, but we actually were named the best local event in 2022. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that we have again been named the best local event for 2023. So I would like to present this. If you'd like to display it in the front lobby,
Absolutely.
that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Dave. Thank you. And on behalf of the town board and the town, I want to thank you and Vicky and Jim and Kate and all the people. I mean, hundreds of volunteers and vendors and sponsors and all that you guys have done to bring this to the level that it is. And so thank you very much for all your dedication to the town. I know it's a lot of hours and a lot of time. So thank you. Appreciate it very much. Anyone else wish to be heard at privilege of the floor? Still open. Going once, going twice, seeing none. That privilege of the floor is now closed. We have no supervisors' comments tonight, so we're going to go over that. We already took care of item number 11 regarding Jane Peeney, so we'll go right into item number 12. It's a resolution adopting the 2024 preliminary budget and scheduling a public hearing for that preliminary budget for November 1st, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. The tentative budget you presented back in September 30th for any alterations or revisions, it has now been modified and has become the preliminary budget, and we are scheduling a public hearing for it.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is item number 13. It's a resolution appointing Victoria, I believe Tori, go by Tori? Tori Ingalls to the position of Secretary to the Chief of Police. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. This is a position that will be replacing a vacancy to serve as secretary to the chief of police in the department and will be filled November 6th. And Victoria, thank you for stepping up and taking that position.
And I understand from the chief, you're a town resident, could walk to work. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, thank you and welcome. We're looking forward to working with you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. I have a feeling more people probably want to leave after this resolution, so we can take another pause if that's the case. Yes, you're welcome. Way to read the room.
Yeah.
I wish other past employees were as respectful as Jane King was.
Nice job, Kate.
She was. She
Thanks, Kate.
actually had gratitude.
Nice job, guys.
for Working for the town of Glenville and all that the town of Glenville did for them. Unlike some other. Bye, Tori.
Congratulations. Thank you. See you, Chief.
Nobody's interested in water, Adam. Moving on to item number 14, it's a resolution approving the time for Halloween within the town of Glenville. Do I have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
In honor, oh, I was going to say, in honor of Councilman Godlewski,
Yeah.
it's seconded.
So it's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this is just setting the celebration and keeping with a safe Halloween here in Glenville. Setting times from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, October 31st for 2023. So that's it.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 15, approving the minutes for the regular town board meeting held on October 4th. Do you have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
This is just approving the minutes for the meeting of October 4th.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 16, approving the monthly reports for September 2023. Do you have a motion?
I'll move that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
As stated, this is approving the monthly reports.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. We're going to skip new business and go on to the add-ons. We'll do new business after the add-ons and before the executive session. And so we'll move on to add-on number 1. It's a resolution accepting the bid for $83,206 for water break paving for 2023 Phase 2. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
As you stated, Mr. Supervisor, this is for the water damage seal coating to TLC seal coating for $83,206.
Excellent. You see a list there, a Schedule A, which lists the 12 areas that will be paved. And those are included in that Phase 2. And this is within the budget. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is authorizing the issuance of a bond for Water District 2 improvements. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, just for clarification, it's actually the bond is for Water District 11, not for Water District 2. And as Jason pointed out, it is extension number 52, actually, to Water District 11. But this is the bond for the new project at the industrial park.
Thanks for straightening that out for us.
And I note the amount's $1,083,000.
Yes. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, add-on 3. scheduling a public hearing for Wednesday, November 15th, regarding any person interested in the proposed local law amending certain provisions of the town code of the town of Glenville. And this one is in relation to the code changes. Yes. So any questions or comments on that?
I would just like to really add in, I think that this is very well done by our planning and code enforcement. And it's a much needed change to the code. So
And it takes on a variety of things within the building permits, accessory structures, certain provisions related to those types of things in planning and building permits.
definitely.
Any other questions or comments?
Do we have the
I think Jim has
motion?
to-
I'll move it.
I'll
Can
second.
we move it?
I'll
No,
second.
about that.
No, you got ahead of me, Bob. Okay, so we got a move over there in a
Yep.
second.
Yep.
Bob's already talked on it. Any other questions or comments on it?
no. As usual, the planning department stays very much up on these things, and this is, like Bob said, it's badly needed. Just, tweaking our code a little further.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkham?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, add-on 4, scheduling a public hearing on Wednesday, November 1st, right here at Town Hall regarding the proposed improvements to extend the town's existing water district, 11, and provide town-supplied water to the formerly formerly part of Water District 2.
I'll move it.
And I move, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on that?
Same project, Mr. Supervisor, this just specifies that it's, Water District 11 would be some changes to impact Water District 2.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkham?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, add-on 5, authorizing the town of Glenville to declare lead seeker agency for the improvements to the water district we just spoke about. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkham?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next add-on resolution number 6, scheduling a public hearing for Wednesday, November 1st regarding all those persons interested in the proposed modification to Water District 2. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just to talk about this just a little bit, this would be the move of those 20 parcels out of District 11 into District 2.
Out of 2
Into, okay, the other way around. It, for the extension of the water system into the business and technology.
So this would be the basically strengthening the boundaries of the existing water.
Yep. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkham?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, add-on 7, authorizing the supervisor to execute an engagement letter with the law firm of Garfunkel Wild. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just to start the conversation, we are engaged in a contract with O'Connell and Aronowitz. Here are Jeff Siegel, and Jeff had a associate, Colleen Pearson, who worked with us regarding our planning and zoning, our ZBA boards, and worked on land use with us. Effective October 1st. I think she's left your firm. We did want to retain Colleen. Jeff and I talked about it. Jeff feels that it's the best relationship for us to continue working with Colleen at her new firm, where she is at Garfunkel Wild. And the retainer for that would be $2,500 a month. Now that is not a new retainer on top of what we're paying Jeff's firm, but it's being carved out, and so it's budget neutral for the town, and we're just going to keep Colleen on through her new firm. Jeff's going to continue in typical town attorney business, and we still have our labor attorneys. So it doesn't change much other than where we send the check, but we do have to engage in a new letter with the new firm, and so this would authorize me to execute that agreement with Garfunkel Wild. Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to say, I think this is a reasonable outcome. I applaud Jeff for, taking the stance he is, with, having Colleen stay on with another firm. And I like Colleen. I've had a chance to work with her, and I thought she was very responsive, did good work, and, seemed to be a knowledgeable person and very helpful. So this seems to be a very good outcome.
I'd like to add that Colleen and I discussed this. It was my suggestion to her that she retain the planning and zoning work for the town. She has a very good relationship with the town. I think it's good for continuity for her to stay with the board. And we still have a close professional relationship. We do talk to each other. She asks me questions about zoning and planning. She's willing to cover here if need be. So everybody's happy with the outcome.
Great.
We keep Jeff busy enough on other matters.
Yeah. Gotten that impression.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Supervisor Hudson?
Yes, resolution passes. We'll move on to new business before we go into executive session. And I'll start on my left with Councilman Kirkham. Sorry.
No new business.
No new business. Councilman Martin?
Nothing new.
No. Councilman Ramichardt?
Nothing new.
I have nothing new either. So we're going to take up a vote to go into executive session to discuss labor contract negotiations. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Yes, sir.
Just a clarification quickly on procedural order of these resolutions. Add-on number 5 has been voted on before, add-on number 2. I believe number 5 was for determination of significant under secret.
Yes, 5, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, I think the issue is making it clear that the seeker issue is addressed prior to the board approving the undertaking under number 2.
So 2 and 5 kind of got rearranged.
Yeah, that, I just wanted to.
Do you want to reverse that?
I don't think we need to. I think it's addressed,
Okay.
and I think it's ministerial and not it's a procedural error and not a substance error.
So we'll note that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll note that.
Well, but it's just a declaration of lead agent status. It's
Yeah.
not the
Right.
actual negative deck.
It's not the negative declaration.
So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
And 2 is the bond resolution, and we're talking about the project, so.
Yeah, we haven't reached a determination under seeker.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Here's lead agency.
Yep.
Thank you,
And,
Adam.
and the other resolutions were to call public hearings,
Correct.
so I think we're okay.
The board, with the board making determination prior to voting on
Bond?
the bond, yeah.
No, because we're not actually bonding. We're just getting authorization to bond in the case we want to bond,
Right.
Okay.
right? I mean, nothing is requiring us to take the bond. We may say, we're not going to do this. This just allows us to go forward with the bond if we want to.
Yeah, I see that as we're just lining it up.
Right.
We're not actually,
Because you could authorize a bond at any time, doesn't mean you have to take it. Yeah. Never took it, right.
we're not undertaking the action yet.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Theoretically, we could tomorrow now. But I don't know if that's an issue.
No, I don't think it is. But it's better to be safe than sorry, Adam. We
Good
got
question.
it.
Yes, thank you. So add-on number 8 is going to executive session to discuss labor contract negotiations. We have some things we want to update the board on as far as negotiations with CSCA. I'd asked comptroller and Vicky to stay for that. And we'll go into executive session. We don't anticipate any more business after the executive session. So when we come back out, we'll have a lot of regular session. But I do not anticipate any other comments or public discussion at that. So you're welcome to stay, whoever's in the room, but I wouldn't really, well, it's up to you. Welcome to stay. So I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
I will move
Do I
that.
have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in executive session. Thank you. Right. If you're not staying, I'll get on that. It'll all be on. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay.
They heal.
Yeah. We could stay here if everybody else leaves. Good night, Adam.
Good night, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah. No, we can't stay here because this has to stay streaming.
I saw him, and the person involved.
It just seemed like that to me.
You're definitely nervous.
Oh, who motioned to close?
We didn't do it. Okay, so I need a motion to close the executive session.
I'll move that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are out of executive session and back into regular session. We have no further business in regular session, so I'll take a motion to adjourn regular session.
I will move the adjournment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved
Third.
and second and third. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.